Hi, everyone on YouTube and all the NFL YouTube prognosticators and football fans everywhere. This is Andrew Warren, back here once again, giving you my thoughts about Week 6 and my picks for Week 7 for the 2025 NFL season. Check it out. Yeah, I'm definitely back in my own section right now because I had a few things to do. So I'm here. So I'll be going to the gym later, but I figured I'd just do this real quickly so I don't have to worry about it. Anyways, that being said, for the straight up, I went 10-5 overall. Not too shabby on that one. Against the spread, could have been a bit better. I'm in 6-9, so I'm still got a little work to do on that one. So we'll get there. Over and under wasn't a bad week for that. So I went 3-1 with one push. That push was the Washington and Chicago. So we'll get to that one game in a bit. So, anyways, overall in the year, straight up, I'm 48-28-1 overall in the year. Against the spread, 35-40-3 overall in the year. We need some work to do on that one. And over and under, 3-1, we need work to do on that one. We're 9-11-1 overall in the year. So we got plenty of work to do on those two. So our goal right now is to fix those right away. So anyways, continuing on with my thoughts about Week 6, it was pretty an interesting week, to say the least. With the New York Giants shocking the Philadelphia Eagles right now. That's a little surprise itself. Hey, it's a division game. Anything goes. That and the London game, the Denver, the New York Jets. That was one of the weirdest games this year. That's all I can say about that one. In Arizona and Indianapolis, I will say, Indianapolis, offensively, pretty solid. But let's see if they can beat in the competitive defensive teams. So see how that one goes. Pittsburgh and Cleveland. It's Cleveland. There's nothing I can say about that one. And my Patriots and the New Orleans Saints. It was probably the most craziest referees callings that I've seen in a while. But the Patriots hanged on to win. That's all that mattered. So they had a little questionable calls. Yeah, it happens in games. What are you going to do? But, to say the least, they made competitive. They hold on to the win. And defensively, they're doing okay. Maybe a little help in the secondary, but that's all right. But, a win's a win. But, anyways, continuing on with that. Well, by the way, Drake May, excellent. He had 3 touchdown passes. He's coming on strong. We'll see how that one goes. All right, continue on. Dallas and Carolina. Wow. Dallas, your defense is just plain horrible. Horrible this year. One of the worst defenses in the league so far. Probably one of the worst defenses that I've ever seen in a long, long time. That's saying something. That is saying something. Jerry World is having one of the biggest nightmares on defense so far this year. They're ranked one of the bottom in the defensive categories. Probably they're in the bottom of the barrel on that one. That's how they lost to Carolina, pretty much. Jacksonville and Seattle. Hey, Jacksonville hanging on. I would consider Jacksonville a sleeper team. We'll see how it continues on. The LA Rams in Baltimore. It goes to show you that the Ravens are desperate for Lamar Jackson to come back. That's for sure. Tennessee and Las Vegas. Tennessee got a big loss. Despite that, Brian Callahan, the coach of the Tennessee Titans, he's out. Senior offensive assistant Mike McCoy is in. So we got our first firing of the year under Brian Callahan, and senior offensive assistant Mike McCoy is in for the intern coach. He's going to coach for the rest of the year. Will he keep the job? Who knows? But there's other coaches are out there that could make the call. Maybe Bill Belichick will come back to the NFL. Possibly. But, I'm not going to hold any grudges, but, you never know what could happen. But anyways, that's just a thought, but I'm not saying he will. But, you never know. All right, continuing on. Green Bay and Cincinnati. Green Bay won the game, but they didn't cover. That's all I can tell you. But Cincinnati is still recovering from an injuries problem as well. Anyways, Tampa Bay and San Francisco. Injuries are coming back to San Francisco. And it's continuing to stretch that. Detroit and Kansas City. Man, that was a brutal, brutal ending. And I forget who got suspended, so yeah, there was a brutal fight in the end. But after that big brawl in the end against Kansas City. It was Brian Branch. He got suspended for one game after he, unsportsmanlike conduct after a post-game fight with Juju Smith-Schuster. That's who it was. I forgot who actually did. And I think Jameson Williams previously served as a suspension. That was the first one since then. I think it was since Jameson's Williamson and since 2023 or something like that. I think it was something like that. So followed by another. I think it was 2023 or 24 or something like that. But I think he faced it at 2 games. I think Brian Branch. I think he's suspended a couple of years ago, if I remember correctly. But it's just for 1 game, so he'll be back in a couple of weeks. But anyways, continuing on. Really bad fight there. That should have just not ended in a brawl. But if you're Tampa, if you're Detroit though, I don't blame you. There was a couple of questionable calls, but it is what it is. But Buffalo and Atlanta, because of that loss for Buffalo, that Atlanta shocked everybody, shocked the world on Monday night. My Patriots are back in first place for the first time since 2019, since Tom Brady was there. First time they're in first place in the AFC East since that point, but they're tied for first, but they own the tiebreaker. But will my Patriots keep it up? We'll have to wait and see. I'm not gonna count on Buffalo yet, but you never know. What could happen? Anyways, continuing on. For one more, Chicago surprisingly upset the Washington Commanders, but it was a great game competitively. Hey, there's no shame in losing that game for the Washington Commanders. They played a hard-fought battle as well, but but at the end of the day, Chicago came out on top. So, anyways, that's my thoughts about Week 6. Let's get on to my Week 7 picks. Okay, for buys this week, it's the Bills and Ravens. So if you have Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, or if you have the Ravens defense, or if you have the Bills defense, bench them this week because they're not going to be playing this week. And speaking of fantasy football, I'm 0-6, so I faced my good buddy Felix from work. I think he's the Stallion Felix or something like that in my fantasy league. So I'm playing him this week. So good luck to my buddy Felix on that one. So he has Bo Nix. So I have Jared Goff playing this week. So it's going to be a lot of fun in this one. Him and I, we kind of jokingly competed each other all the time and things like that. So anyways, that's when I want to let you know about my fantasy football and the bye weeks. Let's get on to my Week 7 picks. Kicking off on Thursday night, we got the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers are 7.5-point favorites in this game. I'm taking the Steelers straight up, and I'm taking the Steelers minus 7.5. And over and under is 43.5. The way that Cincinnati's been going, I'm going to go under 43.5 in this game. Unless Pittsburgh can hold off 43 on their own, I don't see it happening. Anyways, that's my Jacksonville and the LA Rams in London. The final international game in London, I believe. But anyways, Jacksonville representing the home team. The Rams representing the road team. So those teams are coming in. Going to be an interesting fight. I think that offensively they're both playing well. So I think it's going to be an offensive shootout. But I think the Rams are coming up on top. I'm going to take the LA Rams over the Jacksonville Jaguars. On the line, the LA Rams are 3-point favorites in this game. I'm going to take the LA Rams minus 3. Over and under is 44. I'm going to go over 44.5 in this game. The Chicago Bears and the New Orleans Saints. Chicago holding it on their own. New Orleans defensively are really good. So you never know what could happen in this one. But despite that, defensively, I like the upset in this one. I like the New Orleans Saints over the Chicago Bears on this one. On the line, though, Chicago's 5.5-point favorites in this game. I'm going to take the New Orleans Saints plus 5.5. The Cleveland Browns and the Miami Dolphins. Just two teams are not doing well. Somebody has to win. Miami's better offensively. So I'm going to take the Miami Dolphins over the Cleveland Browns to win this game in Cleveland. That's an upset too, by the way. On the line, Cleveland is favored by 2.5-point favorites in this game. I'm going to take Miami plus 2.5. My New England Patriots and the Tennessee Titans. My Patriots returned to Tennessee after a year ago, which they got they lost out by a field goal attempt. I think it was a game-winning field goal last year with Tennessee. But that being said, there's, like I mentioned, no Brian Callahan. He's gone, and senior offensive assistant Mike McCoy is in as the intern head coach. Read this this past week. I think it was Monday or something like that. Every intern coach that started since 2010, 33 assistant coach intern coaches, 33. The record, 17-6. So it's been a mix and match on that. Think about that. It could be a toss and turning game for something like that. But that is the way I'm thinking. This could be a really interesting way, or it can go in a bad way for Tennessee. But the only difference from a year ago from this game, my Patriots are better offensively. The only thing they need to work on is their secondary. That being said, I think, and of course, the other key momentum, Mike Vrabel. He's returning to Tennessee after he was the head coach for the Titans since from 2018 to 2023, I think. Something like that. He was the head coach and they booted him out after. He had a great run for Tennessee. I think they made it to the AFC Championship game against Tennessee in 2019. So, anyways, my thing is, I think Mike Vrabel wants a little bit of revenge on his mind after they booted him out, because he was loved in Tennessee, though, and they actually give him the boot, which I think Mike Vrabel has a little revenge on his mind, and he's thinking, should never have fired me. Anyways, continuing on, I like my Patriots to win this game over the Tennessee Titans. On the line, the Patriots are favored by 7 in this game. That's a common touchdown. Fine by me, that one. I'm going to take the my Patriots minus 7. Anyways, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Las Vegas Raiders. This game is a pretty interesting game. It's a division game. Anything can happen. Especially in division games, I don't like to take double digits. But for this reason, this is an exception. Because I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs over the Las Vegas Raiders to win this game. On the line, Kansas City is favored by 12 in this game. So I'm going to take Kansas City minus 12. The Minnesota Vikings and the Philadelphia Eagles. This is a must-win game for Philadelphia. They need a win. They have to keep their momentum going. Otherwise, they'll be in trouble to make the postseason. I understand they have a little Super Bowl hangover. So is Kansas City. That being said, they need to have a win. So I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles over the Minnesota Vikings to win this game in Minnesota. On the line, Philadelphia is favored by 2 in this game. I'm going to take Philadelphia minus 2. Carolina Panthers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. For this, not the Jacksonville Jaguars, the New York Jets and the Carolina Panthers, excuse me. Anyways, that being said, then the New York Jets, not much I can say about the New York Jets. They're just the New York Jets. Plain bad football. Carolina, they had an upset. But to Carolina's credit, though, they're working on it. That being said, they still have Carolina needs some offensive help, I think. So, I think they have need some offensive help to get the support going. So I think that's what Carolina needs right now. But I think they're much competitive than they were the last couple of years. I will give Carolina that. So I'm going to take the Carolina Panthers over the New York Jets to win this game in New York. On the line, Carolina's favored by 2 in this game. I'm going to take Carolina minus 2. The New York Giants and the Denver Broncos. And hey, New York Giants got the win. That's all that matters. But now they're playing another competitive team. That's the Denver Broncos with Bo Nix. Bo Nix is coming strong on his own. So for this, there's not much I really can say about that besides the Denver Broncos are struggling for the they have one of the worst records in the against the spread categories. So that's all I can tell you about that one. But it's at home for Denver. I'm going to take the Denver Broncos over the New York Giants at home. On the line, the Denver Broncos are favored by 7 in this game. I'm going to take the New York Giants plus 7. Anyways, continuing on with the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Commanders. So for this game, the Dallas Cowboys, like I mentioned earlier, they're like one of the worst defenses in the league. They have probably one of the worst defenses I ever seen. They're giving up yardage and points left and right. It is not funny. It's like a circus in the defensive side of the ball. That being said, I'm not too sure how long they can keep that up until someone says enough is enough on the defense. So that being said, I think the Washington Commanders, they have a little chip on their shoulder after what happened on Monday night. So I'm going to take the Washington Commanders over the Dallas Cowboys to win this game. On the line, the Washington Commanders are 2.5-point favorites in this game. I'm going to take the Washington Commanders minus 2.5. The Arizona Cardinals and the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay Packers need some momentum going to keep their division hopes alive. They need to win this game. I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers over the Arizona Cardinals to win this game. Arizona, they need some work to do on the offensive line as well. So they need to work on that. So, on the line, Green Bay's favored by 1.5-point favorites in this game. I'm going to take Green Bay minus 1.5. The San Francisco 49ers and the Atlanta Falcons. Injuries are coming back to bite San Francisco right now. Like I mentioned, it happened to Detroit last year. Now it's happening to San Francisco. The only difference is San Francisco is probably in a lot worse situation than they were a year ago, I think. So, I'm not going to put any hopes on Kyle Shanahan or Mac Jones or anything. It's just a lot of injuries coming on both sides of the ball. That's going to hurt them in the long run. Anyways, that being said, Atlanta, pretty impressive offense right now. I'll give them a lot of credit for that. But that being said, the only key difference is that Atlanta is much healthier. And I think they're trying to knock on the door right now. That being said, though, I'm going to take the Atlanta Falcons in the upset over the San Francisco 49ers and San Francisco. On the line, San Francisco's favored by 2.5-point favorites in this game. I'm going to take the Atlanta Falcons plus 2.5. Which I believe that's Sunday Night Football, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Is it? Yep, it is Sunday Night Football. I apologize for that. Yeah, so I apologize for that. I thought I had the over and unders on that one, So, anyways, I'm gonna check the over and unders real quick. So I kind of apologize for that. So, but I thought I had the over and unders on that one somewhere. So I just have. Oh yeah, 46. There we go. Sorry about that. So the over and under is 46. Despite how Atlanta's doing offensively, I'm gonna have to go over the under 46 in this game. So again, I apologize. I never got to that. So I got it. So again, I'm gonna take Atlanta over the San Francisco as an upset. Atlanta plus 2.5 and the under 46 in this game. Anyways, the doubleheader Monday Night Football. We got the Detroit Lions and Tampa Bay on the first one. So for this game, Detroit's at home. They're probably a little upset what happened against Kansas City. They're probably going to take it on Tampa Bay, but Tampa Bay's no joke. I think it's going to be a lot closer game. So, and it's at home though. So I'm going to take the Detroit Lions over Tampa Bay over in Detroit. On the line, I will get Tampa Bay this. They could sneak up on Detroit on this one, but Detroit is 4.5-point favorites in this game. I'm going to take Tampa Bay plus 4.5. The over and under is 52. With both great offenses, I think it's going to go over. I'm going to go over 52.5 in this game. And Seattle and Houston. So, for this game, it's probably, I think Seattle's going to be one of the most interesting teams in the league right now. They've been surprising people left and right, and they've been playing really good. Offensively, a little bit defensively, but surprisingly, special teams as well. Now, I read something, I think they were one of the top 10 the special teams in the league. I'm going to check that out again because I kind of forgot to write that. Oh, yeah, so we got the special team stats of the rankings and the lineup. So, oh, yeah, it's San Francisco who's like on the top of that. But while Seattle, I think I'm pretty sure they're in the top 15 or something like that. And let me see. Yep, I think in the top 25 or something like that. But still, they've been coming along on that. But they've been playing a little bit better than they were a year ago at that. But anyways, continuing on what I was saying, Seattle has been hanging in there. They've been hanging around ball games, and they help them to win games. So, that being said, it's in Seattle. So, I'm going to take the Seattle Seahawks over the Houston Texans to win this game. On the line, Seattle's favored by 3.5 point favorites in this game. I'm going to take Seattle minus 3.5. Over and under, it's 41. I can't keep my hopes up on Houston's defense, so I'm going to go under 41 in this game. Okay, my shout-out this week is my buddy, Matt the NFL Fanatic. The reason being, he's not really feeling well this week. He still did his video. Kudos to him on that one. Matt the NFL Fanatic, I hope you're feeling better. Hope you're doing well. So, anyways, give him a big shout-out this week. He hasn't been really feeling too good this week, so hope you're feeling okay, buddy. So, we'll be thinking about you. Anyways, and the soap product this week, check out Dapper Yankees' new Wicked lineup. It's part of the Wicked series from the Halloween lineup. And check out the company, too. It's Dapper Yankee. So, pretty solid one right here. So, anyways, check out Dapper Yankee, their company product. They make really good bars with soap. So, or bricks or something and things like that. So, they really make great products. So, I might have another one with them coming up. With them this week if I get another Wicked stuff. So the Wicked lineup is really good. So definitely check this one out. This has a really the fresh green foliage, which I agree with, and with some sweet fig and a touch of light musk in there, which I do agree with. And it smells really nice too. It really thinks about Halloween in this one, like the Wicked Witch of the. Kind of weird, like the Wicked Witch of the West of the Wizard of Oz. It makes me think of that with that scent. But it smells really good. Really, really fantastic. But it's really nice. So I'm gonna have this one here, and check out the Dapper Company website as well. They make really make great products. I'll have more products with them probably in the future, but definitely check this one out right here. But this Wicked one is really, really good. What's good to my skin. And it kind of helped with my eczema a little bit too. So, because as you may know, I haven't really told much, but I've have eczema for a little over the years, and and this is what, and they're all natural soaps like Dapper Yankee and Dr. Squatch, and Sudsy Bear and Grizzly Naturals. They've been helping. It's been really helping my skin a lot. So, I'll definitely give them props for that. And check out Matt for NFL Fanatic and the rest of the NFL YouTube prognosticator page in the description down below right here. And check out Dapper Yankees Wicked and their other soap products on Dapper Yankees. So definitely check them out. And until then, this is Andrew Warren signing off saying rock out and eat your breakfast.